WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN. ESPN 790 AM.
The views and opinions of the hosts or guests of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the management or staff of Intercom Memphis.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790, talking outdoors for the next 90 minutes as we roll into our 15th year on the air. Celebrated number 14 back in August, and 90 minutes. And you know this is the third Saturday of the month, which means Frank Barton is normally in the studio. But Frank's got a business conflict right now over at Barton Power Sports in West Memphis. We're going to try to hook up with Frank by phone somewhere around the 6:30 hour if we can and everything. But Frank would normally be here, and
I'll talk like Frank Barton.
Yeah, you can talk like Frank. He has the radio voice. That is for sure. So anyway, busy show, next 90 minutes, and that was Greg Ratliff's voice. He has the radio voice, that's for sure. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Larry.
Glad to have Greg in here pushing all the buttons, making everything go. We're going to announce something right out of the chute today that Outdoors with Larry Ray has a new deer processing partnership here. And I've gone by this young man's place many times. I've seen it on the road. Had a chance to go around and look at his facility, and spotless. Really impressed the way it looks and everything like that. And that is Scott Stengel. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Larry.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Made the long drive in this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, we're a fourth-year business. We try to strive to keep a good, clean operation. We do a little bit different than most. We'll actually age your deer for 5 days in a cooler.
Really? Okay.
Really.
And why?
Well, that just ages the meat.
It does, doesn't it?
Right, it does. Gets that wild game out of it.
It does, yeah.
You get your exact deer back.
It is your deer.
Yes, sir.
When they pull in, it's your deer.
Right. That tag stays on that deer from start to finish.
And this is a family operation, isn't it, Scott?
It is. My two sons started the business, and they were in college wanting something extra to do, and it turned into more than what they could handle alone. So I came in. I called myself the CEO.
You are the CEO,
yes,
and your two sons are, what's their names?
Nick and Nathan.
How old are they?
They're 23 and 21.
Okay. Now, and you're an avid outdoorsman.
Oh, yeah.
And never in your wildest dreams thought you'd be doing this.
No, I didn't. We have the family's been making sausage for
I've heard. I tasted
25
it.
years. So we just turned it on to the boys, and they had people that were coming and wanting them to do it on the side, and they just decided to make a business out of it.
Well, I know that your location is really easy to find. Tell our folks out there where you're located.
We are on Highway 64, right at Laconia Road. If you're a hunter, you're probably familiar with Laconia store. We're actually 4 miles to the east of Summerville, right on 64 Highway.
That's it, and it's got signs up. And we got another gentleman on the line with us this morning. You folks know this guy because I've made the scaffold stand famous. You know, that's where where I do my whispering when I do the show out there trying to kill a deer live on the air, and that's my good friend James McCrory. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Larry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and James kind of put me on Scott here. Tell our listeners out there, James, you've seen this facility. You've been I'm not aging you, James, but you've been in some places that maybe didn't appeal to you as a deer process. What sets theirs apart from others?
Larry, they started, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And tried them out the very first time, and ever since then, and the people that hunt on our farm have never taken a deer anywhere else. The place is absolutely immaculate. It is clean as a pin, no matter what stage it's in. If they're hanging the deer, they put them in the cooler, they bring them back individually and cut them up. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and I've been around cattle, I've been around goats and sheep at the processing plant before. I've never seen anything like it. And when they start making sausage and bratwurst and stuff like that, it's off the charts.
Well, I know James is the one that took me up and said, you got to go up and meet Scott and see this facility. And when you guys started this, and this is a one-stop place, isn't it, Scott? I mean, you have some other, you got some Yetis in there, you got some other things, you got some deer stands, so they're a possibility not just for deer processing and other things.
Right. We carry a line of Yetis, redneck stands. Mm-hmm. You'll have to let James put you in that redneck stand.
I understand you just he's got one on his property out there.
You'll have to get out of that scaffold and get in that redneck.
No, I think the scaffold is mine for life.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, knowing that. What?
We've got Larry's name tattooed on the scaffold.
The scaffold stand is that. And we got James McCrory on the line out of Whiteville, Tennessee, and Scott Stengel from Stengel Outdoors. Is that what we're going to call this? What do we call it?
Stengel Brothers Outdoors.
Stengel Brothers Outdoors, and it's a facility that, deer processing is not something that everybody thinks of as being clean. But when you showed me the place, you really strive for that, don't you?
Yeah, that's number one importance for us. Is
why? Why is that?
Well, a man in the business once told us if we make the housewives happy, everybody's happy. So when they can come in, our facility's clean, they feel good about cooking that for dinner.
Yes.
So
yeah.
That's what we strive to do, cleanliness.
And so tell our listeners, and James could add a little bit about this. You age them for 5 days. You know it's your deer, right? So let's walk through. Somebody walked in and said, "I've got a deer." How do you handle them?
Well, we first take them to the skinning room, of course. Skin the deer.
Mm-hmm.
We actually spray the carcass with a carcass saver, which is really important nowadays because of the spread of different E. coli bacteria and whatnot.
Really? Okay.
So each deer is sprayed with this carcass spray. We actually put that tag, that number that you signed up for when you come in, put it in the cooler. It hangs there for at least 5 days. We put them on a 5-day rotation. It gets cut, separated, it goes to a different cooler, then it comes into the cutting room. Whatever your order is specifically, it's done to that game. Even the sausage comes out of that deer.
And let's talk about the sausage and everything like that, because you guys are pretty specialty about that too, aren't you?
We are. And of course, I can't give the recipes away.
No, I didn't think you would do that, but it is good. I got some samples of that and everything, but the main thing about this, and James, you know this, you never know. You hope it's your deer when you take it to a place, but you know it's yours when you go here, right?
Yes, sir, exactly. I positively know that what I'm getting and putting in the truck when I leave is what I brought to them. And people need to think and realize if you're really careful with your deer and you field dress your deer and you make sure it's clean and wiped out and you've taken care of it and you've got it say on a carrier in the back end of a truck and you take it straight to the processor, you don't want the deer that somebody bad as I hate to say it, shot found 2 days later.
No, you don't. No.
Kind of miss. You don't want that deer. You want the deer that you took the time and trouble to take care of. And that way you know from day one, the minute that when you pulled the trigger to when you started cooking the steaks, that was the deer that you did.
And we're getting ready to really crank up here, as everybody knows the bow season's getting ready to start in Tennessee. You guys are going to get busy. And I know, so tell them hours and give me a little cost here. What are we talking about?
Well, we have, and they could actually, we have a website. They can Google Stengel Brothers Outdoors.
There you go. I did it. I Googled it. There it is right there.
The menu.
And we're going to have a link on lroutdoors.com because this partnership will give you could go to, like all you folks that go to my website and try to win things and everything, right on that homepage, we're going to have the logo for Scott's business and his kids, and show you how to get to it. It's going to be a real partnership here, but tell them you can. The price is?
The basic cut is $75.
$75.
And it goes from there for specialty cuts.
And specialty cuts. But if you want to get some sausage?
Right. You have to. It's a 10-pound minimum on the sausage because it's out of your deer.
It's out of your deer.
Right. So we can't do a pound here, a pound there. You have to at least get 10 pounds of a specific sausage.
Yeah. And you can cut. You can if you don't want roast. You just tell us.
Yeah, you just tell us.
Well, it's pretty amazing. And the telephone number is.
I don't have it right with me.
All right.
Sorry. We just changed the number. So
you did change the number?
I did. It's all
right. We'll build down to this. We're going to talk to Scott many times during the deer season on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and he's going to be one of our folks here that you'll be able to find out and get the number, and the website will be there. But I was really impressed with these guys, and when I saw all the stuff, when you pull up the drive, you think you're going home. Well,
we appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's what he wants to do. But Scott's going to stick around for a few minutes after. James, thank you for being with us, buddy. Okay.
Sir, Larry, I really appreciate it, and I want to tell your listeners that place is immaculate.
Immaculate. You said that twice, and I know that. Hey, y'all, also check out Prairie Hunts Adventures, right?
Prairie Hunting Adventures.
Prairie Hunting Adventures, and that's James's sons. Matthew and Mark have come up with where I'm going to be doing some duck hunting, waterfowl hunting up in southeast Missouri. But we'll be talking to James and the boys, too, as we get on. Thank you, James. Have a great day.
Take care. Appreciate it, Larry.
All right, let's take our first break of the morning. We got Scott Stengel in the room. We got Greg Ratliff taking care of me, and I'm propped up here on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.